Welcome, Trinidad and Tobago, to a News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Joseph Lopez. Let's take a look at the headlines. The newly sworn-in president calls for return to the watchwords of this country. Government finalizes a $1.8 billion loan agreement with Exim Bank. And Integrity Commission Chairman assures uttermost confidence in matters before it. In our top story, Trinidad and Tobago witnessed a momentous occasion on Monday evening as the country's fifth president was sworn in. The inauguration ceremony for Justice Anthony Carmona SC drew thousands of people to the Hazley Crawford Stadium, a venue which is usually only filled for fetes and sporting events.
Meanwhile, addressing the crowd during his inaugural speech as the fifth president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, President His Excellency Anthony Thomas Aquinas Carmona SC pledges to uphold the Constitution while exercising his presidential powers to ensure the best interests of the citizens.
The office of the presidency is not impotent. I do have constitutional clout. Inter alia, Section 81 of the Constitution mandates the Prime Minister to keep the President fully informed of the general conduct of the government and at the President's request to submit information with respect to any matter relating thereto. It is a dialogue mechanism that will be invoked affirmatively for the good of the Republic.
President Carmona promises he will do his job to the best of his ability without any bias.
I have sworn to preserve the Constitution and the law and to devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This I shall do without compromise or reservation, holding fast to the following fundamentals: integrity, transparency, inclusiveness, accountability, and reverence to God Almighty.
His Excellency insists the watchwords of this country, discipline, tolerance, and production, have been neglected. He says he will place focus on reviving the importance of these words in our society. However, he says he will need the citizens' help. President Carmona reiterates that citizens need to also be responsible if they are to demand that the country's leaders do the same.
Let me make it clear that being responsible and accountable does not only apply to people in high places, to ministers of government and other elected officials. Our leaders are all those persons who command positions of influence in our society. Whatever their sphere of influence, it is the right and duty of you, the citizenry, to demand that as leaders, they are responsible and accountable in the exercise of their functions. Yet, one cannot justly demand that those in authority be disciplined, responsible, accountable, and not invoke the same standards of conduct in our daily lives.
The president is calling for family life to be rekindled, particularly in depressed areas. He says this will help address the ravages of social injustice and marginalization.
Today, our jails house a disproportionate percentage of young males from depressed communities, and we need as a society to devise ways and means of addressing this dilemma. The family remains the bedrock of this solution.
His Excellency is calling for stakeholders to develop an out-of-the-box solution to spiraling crime.
For too many years, young men from our depressed communities are being murdered. The man-child is in crisis. And we cannot and must not trivialize the sanctity of human life by indifferently dismissing the deaths of these young persons as gang-related. Every murder is revenge. And revenge is a relay race that will never end unless there is genuine, out-of-the-box intervention. We as a nation We, the Parliament of the people, must no longer engage in tired politics on this issue. Waffle abounds. What is needed is a truly collaborative effort among the stakeholders to address the crisis that is crime.
President Carmona reiterates this is all important as it will help form our image on the world stage. He expresses his belief that our economic standing isn't all that is important. He emphasizes the nation's honor and integrity also matters. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
Trinidad and Tobago is one step closer to seeing the erection of a children's hospital and a national aquatic center. This as the government has signed a loan agreement that will see these projects and others bear fruits.
The government has finalized a $1.8 billion loan agreement with the People's Republic of China's Exim Bank for construction of the Couva Children's Hospital along with sporting facilities across the country. The signing ceremony took place at the Hilton Trinidad and presented stakeholders with a chance to get a first-hand glimpse of the projects which are to be completed. Minister of Finance and the Economy, Senator the Honourable Larry Hawaii, spoke of the proposed Children's Hospital, which has taken up a special place with Prime Minister the Honourable Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
Part of the government's vision is to have a healthcare sector that provides first-class healthcare to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The Couva Children's Hospital, therefore, is an essential part in our national infrastructure and human development plans. This hospital is intended to provide state-of-the-art medical services not only to the children of our nation, but to the 300,000 people who will access its facilities. It has 150 adult beds and will house a burns care unit. It is also the intention to use this hospital as a multi-training facility for medicine and nursing. The hospital is also being constructed with a helipad on the rooftop for ease of access in times of emergency.
Meanwhile, the sporting facilities will include the National Aquatic Center, the National Cycling Center, and 3 additional multi-purpose sports facilities to be built in Chaguanas, San Juan, and Sangre Grande. Minister of Sport, the Honourable Anil Roberts, spoke of the many benefits to be derived from the erection of the facilities in Couva.
We are creating in Couva a growth pole through sport. We have the Arthur Bolden Center that will go under refurbishment in June to redo the track to certify 2A, and we have the football field that has hosted World Cups. We have the Balmain Cricket Center. We now will have the Aquatic Center, the Cycling Velodrome, and a BMX Olympic Center also, with future development for an auto sports center. This will encourage private sector entrepreneurs to develop that area with hotels, restaurants, medical facilities, malls, and the investment will be not only in land purchase, but development, construction, design, and job creation. So these jobs that we have shown just in the sporting aspect. So in Trinidad and Tobago, we are seeing a resurgence of growth since 2008 in the last quarter through the Minister of Finance and the Ministry of Finance in 7 sectors. And with this construction project, sport will also add to the job creation, the sustainability, and increase in the industry to ensure that our people have options to succeed and thrive.
The disbursements for the loan would end in early 2015 with sufficient financial returns expected on the projects. China's ambassador to this country, Yang Yuming, praised the close relationship between Trinidad and Tobago and China, pointing to the soon-to-be-opened TNT embassy in Beijing as proof. He noted that there is currently a trickle of tourists from China to Trinidad and Tobago and hoped this would increase in the future. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
After the break, we focus on tourism. Stay with us. Welcome back. Tourism Minister Stephen Cady says the World Economic Forum, WEF, on Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Report for 2013, which ranks TNT the 8th least tourist-friendly destination in the world, is a reflection of how Trinidadians feel about tourism. He says citizens do not understand the value of the industry. Minister Cady made the comment at the launch of the 14th Annual Caribbean Tourism Organization CTO Conference on Sustainable Tourism Development in Port of Spain. The WEF report, Reducing Barriers to Economic Growth and Jobs, assessed 140 economies worldwide based on the extent to which they are putting in place factors and policies to develop the travel and tourism sector. Countries were ranked according to 14 pillars, including safety and security, health and hygiene, and natural resources. The minister says the WEF report was pooled in Trinidad and Tobago, and the results reflected the sentiments of citizens and how they felt about tourism.
The world is our market, and therefore the Caribbean tourism product is a very well-established product. There's been an increase year on year of people coming to the Caribbean. And again, the traveler today is not only looking for what they were looking for 15, 20 years ago, which is a beach with warm seawater and a nice hotel and coconut trees and what have you. The traveler today is more of an explorer, is more of a person looking for an experience. They were looking for all of these things.
The minister says the Caribbean Sustainable Tourism Conference is one of the tools that will be used to educate citizens on the value of tourism. The theme, Keeping the Right Balance, Enhancing Destination Sustainability through Products, Partnership and Profitability, will explore ways the region could enhance destination sustainability and competitiveness in the current global environment.
And there were pink flamingos feeding right there in the wetlands. And I had never seen pink flamingos in the wild in Trinidad and Tobago. And these are all things that we are looking to promote. Okay, so whether it is Trinidad or it is in Tobago, we have a huge sustainable development product, okay, that communities can actually thrive, not just survive, but actually thrive off of this tourism product. I was in Matura for the beach cleanup the other day, and I mean, I had to park quite down the road. Why? Because there were in excess of 1,000 people on Matura Beach, and especially young people, which was really and truly heartening.
The Minister of Tourism says his ministry will be working hard at building local and foreign tourism.
Sustainable tourism is not only about the environment, it's not only about rural communities, it's about everything else that goes with it. And therefore, properly planned, properly directed, properly managed, you have a tourism product for generations. And that is what we intend to build here in Trinidad and Tobago.
The conference target audience included policymakers, academics, tourism community groups, and environmental activists. The minister says tourism is a very lucrative industry and employs about 70,000 people, more than the manufacturing sector. The Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training continued its observance of Service Day by ensuring that a family in Couva benefit from its skills of a local training agency.
The Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training continued its Service Day efforts with a focus on applying skills learned. This as the Habitat for Humanity once again partnered with the Youth Training and Employment Partnership Program, YTEP, to bring relief to a family in need. The partnership, developed over several years, involves contributions from the Young Future Leaders, a subsidiary of YTEP, and carries out several projects to the benefit of members of society who require assistance. A young couple, Shiva and Charlene Simangal, received the resources and manpower to continue the building of their home in Couva. The parents of three built a foundation by themselves through hard work and dedication, but now they would be able to see the completion of their home in a much shorter space of time. Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, Senator the Honourable Fazal Karim, spoke of what the Service Learning Day entails and the relevance of it to the family.
When I see this facility going up here too, as you will know, housing is something very basic to everyone. The basic amenities of food, clothing and shelter. We continue to to look at that as very important ingredients for the improvement of the quality of life. But very importantly too, I'm very happy to see that these are young people who are trying to make a home for themselves and for their family. So on the ground level, I'm very happy to be here. But what it tells me as well is that we can contribute as an institution and a ministry and through the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to assist them.
The Honourable Minister explained that the program provided an opportunity for the ministry and its agencies to give back to the community.
What we are seeing here is really seeing beyond the classroom. What the skills, competencies, abilities, attitudes we have acquired. All of these people here are YTEP trainees, YTEP officials, and this is really giving back to the community.
The family is expected to move into their home in 4 months' time, and Minister Karim gave the commitment that the family would be able to access further help from his ministry via YTEP courses and other means of ensuring that they remain self-sufficient. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Up next, Wayne Cunningham reviews Southern Games 2013. Stay with us. Welcome back. With exciting competition on the running track, in the field and on the cycle track, coupled with capacity crowd of both days, Southern Games 2013 could only be described as a success. But that was not the only good news for Southerners, though. The Honourable Anil Roberts, Minister of Sport, brightened the opening day even more with a welcome announcement. Here's more from Wayne Cunningham.
Let me tell you that in 2 weeks' time, the Ministry of Sport, Sport Company, and Petrotrin will sign an MOU to design and renovate the Petrotrin Sports Club here at Guayakara Park. It will include total renovation of all stands, the regrassing and leveling of the football, the LED digital scoreboard, and any and all facilities, including a specialized athletic gym for all our elite athletes, equipped with all the modern exercise equipment and sports science necessary to train and perform. And this work will begin within 3 months.
Sport Minister Anil Roberts gave the rationale behind a massive investment in sporting facilities.
Due to the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister and the new Minister of Finance, they understand that sport is not just about a healthy population, about active population, about talent identification and opportunities. It is a way to diversify the economy, to ensure that we can create a sport industry, that we can create sustainable jobs in coaching, in sports medicine, in physiotherapy, massage therapy, sports science, trainers, physiotherapists, psychologists, all can earn a living through sport. In Trinidad and Tobago, we're strategically located. And if we move into the sport tourism market that has been neglected for decades, worldwide, the sport tourism market is the fastest growing market in the world. It is a $5 billion a year business in the Western Hemisphere.
These facilities are also expected to benefit the nation financially.
Now, with the advent of the aquatic center, the velodrome, and the tennis center, the aquatic center alone, in the months of December to January, the winter months, can attract from universities in the USA alone. An average team, NCAA swimming team, consists of 20 to 26 swimmers and 4 or 5 officials. So every team we get here will be approximately 31 people staying for 2 weeks. If we can attract 50 or 60 teams, and that's why the USA team, we are in a competition now with Puerto Rico, 2 cities in Brazil, Costa Rica, Dominica, and Cayman Islands, for the USA team to make Trinidad and Tobago their training base ahead of the 2016 Rio Games. We had a successful tour with them 2 days ago, because if we get the USA national swimming team to train in our facility, it is an immediate endorsement. It's like Tiger Woods playing on your golf course. It means that everybody in the world will want to come and train, given the opportunity. to come to Trinidad and Tobago and train. So it is very important. We expect in the aquatic center alone, in that 6-week period in the winter, to pull in at least $4 to $5 million in that period alone, which would ensure that we can maintain the facility throughout the year, and then the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago can use it for free.
Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
When we return, the Integrity Commission gives the assurance of confidence. Stay with us. Welcome back. Chairman of the Integrity Commission, Ken Gordon, is underscoring that all matters that come before the Commission is treated with the utmost confidence. He also adds that every information that comes to the Integrity Commission is absolutely 100% top secret. Mr. Gordon was speaking at the Forum for Principles of Integrity, the Code of Conduct.
Trinidad and Tobago has enacted a legislation, the Integrity in Public Life Act 2000, that makes the provision for the prevention of corruption of persons in public life. Speaking at the Forum for the Code of Conduct, Chairman of the Integrity Commission, Mr. Ken Gordon, says the legislation identifies regulations and guidelines for the conduct of persons exercising public functions.
Everything that deals with information which comes from people who have to make declarations or sometimes investigations, everything like that is totally confidential.
He says the Integrity in Public Life Act establishes an Integrity Commission for Trinidad and Tobago. Thus, the Commission has an oversight role of the ethics and integrity of public officials.
This Commission cannot enjoy the confidence of the public in this country unless the public understands what the Commission is doing. Not people's business, but understand why the Commission may be doing certain things. And you can only understand that if you are told from time to time when big matters occur, how they have occurred and how the Commission is dealing with it. With such information, I think there's an excellent chance people will, over time, recognize there's some things sacrosanct. But if we are told that the Commission is doing something wrong and the Commission doesn't tell us why this charge has been made and doesn't explain it to us, there's no way we can expect the public to have confidence in the Commission.
In this regard, Mr. Gordon says the Act is key to the promotion of an institutional and organizational culture to openness, transparency and accountability as the Commission moves to reinforce the public service system and the anti-corruption framework.
We have now taken a decision that we will communicate with the public on critical issues when this is required, and we will tell our position clearly. We have had a big issue over the past 12 months, which is no secret, an issue which has spent a long time in the courts, and which many of us are satisfied had we made a comprehensive statement from the outset.
The Integrity Commission is a conditional body created by Section 138 and 139 of the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The Act makes provisions for the prevention of corruption of persons in public disclosure, regulating the conduct of persons exercising public functions, and preserving and promoting the integrity of public officials and institutions. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
And that story brings us to the end of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Joseph Lopez. Thank you for watching.